Hello YouTubers, this video is about the mark of the beast and what's coming soon. I just wanted to let everybody know that this is one wicked generation with an unrepentant heart. Basic reasons why we're living in the end times. Number one, look at the Mumbai attacks engineered by the Illuminati and the CFR, to use terrorism as a fear, a fear tactic, to brainwash people. Probably what's coming very soon is they'll probably say, take this chip, and then they'll cure all your ills, No need to protest. They'll say basically, that you can, they'll erase all your debts and everything. They'll pay off your debts. They'll promise you this. They'll promise you that. It's funny, just 6-7 months ago, gas prices were up to like $4.30. Now they're all the way down to $1.99. Basically, the rich took advantage of all the poor, collecting off that money and profiting and racketeering off it. Christmas is also very wicked too. Just look up the origins of Christmas, Tammuz and stuff, ancient Egyptian, Babylonian traditions, of the Gentiles and the pagans, putting idols before God, parents lying to their children, about Christmas, when all you need is love, shelter, basic necessities, food and stuff, and, just going to say this is one wicked generation. He's tired of the rich taking advantage of his poor people, Also, another thing pointing to the end is basically, more government regulation and stuff, trying to eliminate the First Amendment, trying to take away your Second Amendment rights, gun ownership, this and that, just the, people having sex outside of marriage, divorce, is another sign of it, These orgies, pornography, which I'm addicted to. It's a really, really bad addiction, because it represents nothing in my background, Just one generation that's been ruined, This is a cold generation with an unrepentant heart. No girls will even consider dating you if you're poor, They just want this and want that, want money. Primarily, a lot of this is driven by the media, buy this $1,000 thing when there's people overseas who are starving and this and that. That's why it's talked about in the book of Revelation that this is a whore, modern-day Babylon, and it's going to fall. What I see coming soon, 2010, basically, to be honest, going to be times of chaos throughout the world, mass destruction, religious battles, religion is what divides us people, all kinds of different ethnic rivals rivaling up against each other, because man is born of sin, he's trying to push his agenda with politics, this and that, more control. And another thing I noticed here about the middle of 2008 is that jealousy and envy are back again too, this peace treaty that's going to be coming soon. I heard a lot about it earlier in the year, last year with Bush, the Annapolis Treaty. They all have a plan when it's going to be signed eventually, Probably Obama sometime will do it. The guy is going to walk on, this one guy, for like 3.5 years. Things will look all good and peaceful, but this is actually a false illusion, because there always has been distortion, envy, and slavery, primarily over money and stuff. Basically, they'll try to crash the economy. I see in 09, 2010 probably, and they'll try to declare martial law, and if you don't take this chip, you go be beheaded and basically go starve, because that's basically what the government wants to do to its own people. It's all about control, and greed. The rich get rich while the poor get poor, and God's just tired of it. That's why in the book of Revelation it says America is going to be destroyed by nuclear thermal war in the future, because this stuff is very real, because they want to censor the truth and everything, take away your rights and stuff. Why the sinners, the rich sinners, get richer. They're going to be destroyed by God in the end, because in hell there's going to be, the doors of grace are going to be closed. There's going to be no remorse, no mercy from God the Most High, There'll be weeping and gnashing and moaning in the teeth, just like it says in the Bible, And basically that's what's going on now, It's a class struggle between Israelites and Gentiles, and it's just be like, who are you going to side with? Because, most people only care about money making. That's what it's all about anymore. If you don't have a good job, they basically look at you like you're a loser. And there's so many people who have so much talent out there, too, even with less skills, too. And, it's all about control, and God's just tired of all this stuff. It's basically like, fuck you all, just like Insane Clown Posse would say, fuck the world. Do not love the world, because it says in the book of John, too, he says, don't love the world, because everything of the world is wicked. And, for all you naysayers out there, and all you Christian people who are like, oh, don't be swearing, this and that, too damn bad, because this is the truth, and somebody's got to talk about the truth. That's only if you're taking like the Lord's name in the vain or in the evil way, because we clearly are in the last days, and this is free speech, and you can say whatever you want. So basically, everything could be legalized. There's nothing wrong with everything being totally legal. Also, you know, it's just basically, you know, we're all sinners, you know, we have the free will to choose what we want to do, you know, between good and evil. And basically what's going on now is they want to suppress everything. They want total control over everything. That's why the banks are stopping giving out loans, you know, so the rich can only go to school, so the poor won't, basically. Just like Nazi Germany, you know, you only have one elite class of people, you know, and they're the ones, even with the gas prices cheap, they're the ones who can basically do anything, because most of us, all we can do is afford food and pray, sleep, you know, basically just get by. My generation of people is poor, have nothing and stuff, you know. The retirees are lucky, you know, because they still have pensions and stuff. At least they can get by, but us people are poor, and there's basically no hope for us. My brother works like 3 jobs or whatever, 2 jobs just to get by. So, I mean, basically you might as well just pull a gun to your head, because, I mean, basically that's what it amounts to, because, you know, we clearly are in the end days, and nothing really matters anymore except for the Most High and praying at night. Never kill yourself, but I'm just saying it doesn't really matter, though, because, you know, in the end you got to choose between good and evil, and that's what I see coming over the next, like, 5 years. My mom thinks I'm nuts, and a lot of other people do too, but I'm sorry that I'm not. I have ADHD, and I see exactly how they keep taking how they suppress us people, you know, even with disabilities, how they discriminate against people, you know, and, you know, how they put a Hamite before the voters, and Barack Obama, who isn't even part of the 12 tribes of Israel. You know, it's amazing to me how all the white folks, the Edomites, I'm an Edomite though too, because I was born white, you know, how they always try to distort the truth of the 12 tribes of Israel, you know, and how they make fun of all the Jews, you know, because it talks about in the Bible too, the fake Jews too, who call themselves Jews but aren't, you know, like all those people in Hollywood, you know, that distort the crack, you know, and distort the truth from the people, you know. God's just sick and tired of all this corruption and stuff, and right now it's just time for Him to be praised, you know, no matter what you do. Fast, sleep, you know, be a virgin for God, even though I look at porn, you know. This just the best thing you can do is just pray, fast, and sleep, and hope that He comes back soon, and hope that you're counted worthy, and hold up your cross to the best of your ability while you're getting by, working hard. So, hope you enjoyed this video. May the Most High be with you, and bye.